סובב את המסך אליי. Shalom everyone. Very nice. Sorry for the delay. A 4 hours ride became 6.5 hours ride. Sunday traffic everywhere. It's crazy. Lag BaOmer. The Goyim celebrate Lag BaOmer. I just saw fireworks here. Today was Lag BaOmer. After the horrible destruction that 24,000 Talmidim of Rabbi Akiva passed away, 5 left. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is the biggest Chacham after that we had since then until today. It's not just another Yortzai. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he is the one who had to hide 13 years in a cave with his son Rabbi Elazar. 13 years, 12 plus 1, 13 years, which they did not have clothes to wear, so they put their body in the sand up to the chest to be modest. And that's how they used to learn Torah. Imagine all day you're in the sand. And then what happened that the skin became very dry and started to have cuts. After those years, when he came out, Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair saw him, his tears was falling on his cuts. He used to get, tears are salty. They were burning his cuts. So he told him, Oy li shereiticha kach. Oy, that I had to see you like this, suffering. So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai answered him one question that actually explained the purpose of life. What did he say? Oy li im lo reitani kach. Oy li, if I live this life and you did not see me like this, then you should say oy. Now when you saw me like that, Baruch Hashem, that I had this chut. Why? Because there's a rule. 1 hour of learning Torah with pain and effort. It's not so comfortable. Situation in the bank is not so good. The health is not so perfect. Pressure, all kinds of things. 1 hour like that is equal to 100 hours that it's pleasant and comfortable, etc. 1 hour could be 100 with some suffering, with migraine, with headache, with back pain, with no air condition, it's very humid, or freezing and you're shaking. No food. Some yeshivot, they hardly have food. What do you think? Everyone has Chinese food? And beautiful chandelier? What do you think? Some yeshivot, water leak on your head when you learn. Water on the floor. You come with your shoes, the water makes your socks wet. You want to drink coffee, once or twice a month you're lucky to have coffee, and maybe 3-4 times you have sugar. There's none. In Israel, if you want the air condition to work, they have a machine. You have to put money. You put few shekel in, it turns the air condition for 10 minutes. So everyone who breaks up first will turn the air condition for the next 10-20 minutes. I would be there, all my money would go on the air condition. People put money and it turns the air condition on. It's amazing. Why? It's not enough money. Yesterday we finished Parashat Bechukotai and we actually finished Sefer Vayikra. Now we're starting Sefer Bamidbar. In case you did not know, the Torah is divided to 5 books, as we all call it, the 5 books of Moses, Chamisha Chumshei Torah. The first book starts with Parashat Bereshit, the creation of the world, how the world became a world. How many years is the first chapter in the Torah in history? How many years? 1,400 years. Parashat Bereshit Only the first parasha in the Torah describes a period of 1,400 years in history. It starts from Adam, and it goes until 120 years before the Mabul. That's when Hashem said to Noah, prepare the ark. 120 years it took. 120 years before the Mabul, that's the end of Parashat Bereshit. Parashat Noach, second parasha, 400 years. Second chapter in the Torah, 400 years. Noach היה בן 500 שנה, it was 500 years, until דור של אברהם אבינו, until the generation of אברהם אבינו. And from then on, it begins to become slower. Parashat Lech Lecha, 100 years approximately. Because it starts when Hashem said to Avraham Avinu, Lech Lecha, he was 75 years old. Until the Akedah, when Yitzchak was 37 years old. Parashat Vayera, 37 years. Until the end of Sefer Bereshit, 2,200 years. Remember, Sefer Bereshit, Genesis, 2,200 years. That's the passing of Yosef. Yosef passed, end of Bereshit, 2,200 years to the creation. Then starts Sefer Shmot. Sefer Shmot starts 71 years after going to Egypt. After Yaakov went to Egypt, 71 years, and it's finished in Akamat HaMishkan. When we made the Mishkan, the temporary Bet HaMikdash, after we came out of Mitzrayim, after Egypt, 1 year after we came out, we made the Mishkan. So, altogether, 140 years, the entire Sefer Shmot. Now we just finished Sefer Vayikra. It started in Akamat HaMishkan, when we started to build the Mishkan, when it was finished, Rosh Chodesh Nisan, in the second year after we came out of Mitzrayim, until Rosh Chodesh Iyar, in the second year, which means only 1 month. The entire Sefer Vayikra, only 1 month. One parasha, Bereshit, 2,200 years. The entire Sefer Vayikra, 1 month. Sefer Bamidbar, that we're starting now this Shabbat, how many years? 38 years. The entire Sefer Bamidbar. And Sefer Dvarim, how long? 1 month. That's it. 1 month. Moshe Rabbeinu gives the speech of his life. 1 month before he leaves a will. That's Sefer Dvarim. Repeating in the entire Torah, the laws, all the events that took place in the last 40 years. Conclusion. Today, since we are speaking in the time of the Yotzad of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai that gave his life for the Torah, basically he gave his life for the Torah, and he had the zchut to write the Sefer HaZohar with an angel that was giving him the secrets. Not that we didn't know the Kabbalah before that. Single people knew Kabbalah always from the Torah until then. 1,300 years before Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, there was already Kabbalah to some people, to the prophets, to some they knew the secrets of the Torah. But Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai put it only in a book. It's the foundation of Kabbalah, which what we call the Zohar. We'll talk today about some of the importance of learning Torah. It doesn't only apply to men like some women here thinking. So the lecture is basically for the men only. No. Every woman has an obligation to have a doctorate in Torah. Women think, we have questions, we ask the questions, that's it. They don't know that they have to learn An average Jewish woman has to learn enough Torah more than any doctor has to learn in America to become a doctor. And it's not an exaggeration. She has to know all the laws of kashrut. That's a lot of things to know. She has to know all the laws of nidah. Very complicated. She has to know all the laws of Shabbat. Just Shabbat alone, it's 7 years of learning. Just Shabbat alone. What do you think? What is it, Masechet Shabbat, to know all the details? And conclusion, Tur, Shulchan Aruch, until today. What do you think it takes? For smart people, about 7 years. It's very thick Masechet. Women has to know more or less, almost what the man has to know. Almost the same. Shabbat is applying to everyone. All the laws of holidays. All the laws of davening. What applies to her, what doesn't apply. All the laws of modesty. All the laws of cooking. Not only kashrut of the ingredients. Cooking. Rules. Mistakes in the kitchen. No, it's enough? It's already more than a brain surgeon. The only difference between women and men is the timing of the learning. And some of the subjects. But in general, woman would not know. She would make a lot of mistakes. The timing that the woman is not obligated to set routine time every day from morning to afternoon or evening. She has to opt to take every open minute to learn. But she doesn't have like a man, that a man has to make a system and he has to stick to the hours. There is a question. When we eat something, we make bracha. What's the bracha? We make first bracha, and we make another bracha when we finish. It's called Birkot HaNehenin. Nehenin means, nehene means have pleasure. When we get pleasure, we say thank you before we actually get permission to enjoy what Hashem gave us. And then we say thank you. This is how it works. May I use it? That's the first bracha. When I'm done, thank you very much for giving it to me. That's it. So when it comes to Torah, we also make bracha. What do we make? We make bracha rishona. In the morning, before we start to learn, what do? We make bracha. But when we finish, if a person now goes to his business, he closed the Gemara at 10 o'clock. He was learning from 7 to 10. Now he goes to work. When he closed the Gemara, it should have been that he has to make a bracha for the pleasure he had, because learning Torah is a huge pleasure. It's not another joke. Sometimes even greater than any food you can think of, especially if you see the light of the Torah. So why there's no bracha achrona? The answer is, when you eat, you're done with the food, you're full, you're finished, that's it. I'm not hungry anymore, I have no desire to eat. I'm done, for now I'm done. It's a finish. For the finish, you say thank you. From the beginning to the end, beginning you start, you finish, the process, you say thank you. Torah, there's no finish. Torah, you can be 100 years old, Chas v'shalom, you're in a hospital, connects to machines, you can hardly open your eyes. And every day you have an obligation to learn Torah. It never ends. A person is knocking on doors, help me out, we have nothing to eat. The children, he has obligation to learn Torah that day. What? I have time to learn Torah, Rabbi, I have 11 kids at home, I have to feed them. What? How am I going to collect? I have to collect $500 a day to survive. Put them in yeshivot, to give them food, to buy them clothes, to pay for the doctors, to pay the rent. $500 a day a family like this need to survive, not to be millionaires in this place. Just now, we drove today more than $100 tolls we paid today, in one day. Forget about the gas and tires and brakes and all the rest of the product. Just $100 tolls. Every 10, 20 minutes, 8, 10, 4, 7.5, non-stop. How is he going to survive? So, the obligation never ends. אפילו אני המחזר על הפתחים. Even someone who has shchin. You know what shchin means? Pus all over his body, it's itching. How can he focus now on Rashi, Tosfot? You need to have a full mind for it. He's itching his head, his body. He has to learn Torah. No dismissal. No one is dismissed. No, this means with legs, without legs, on a wheelchair, high fever. Always must learn Torah. This is mitzvah that doesn't have an expiration, ever, ever. V'agita bam yomam v'layla, around the clock. Even Tisha B'Av. You learn the laws of Tisha B'Av and the destruction of the temple. It's never end. So let me give you some ideas how important the Torah is. It says like this. In the time of Chafetz Chaim, one girl, 12 years old, went to the barn, and there was a horse over there. She took a glass of water, she drank without bracha. Second later, the horse that was there fell, he died, and about 5-6 seconds later, the girl started to speak in the voice of a man. See a 12-year-old girl, and she speaks with the loud voice of a man from her mouth. Who are you? He says his name. Big Rasha. His neshama, his soul was in space. It's called Kaf HaKela. The Torah says, Ve'et nefesh, nefesh means the soul. Ve'et nefesh arasha, the soul of the wicked people, ikla'ena beKaf HaKela. Hashem puts it like in a slingshot and shoot it in space from one place of the world to the other, and this kind of souls do not have 1 second of rest from how much the bad angels are torturing them for the sin that they made in this life. So the only way to get a shield from this kind of suffering is to enter a living body of a person. But the question is, how does he have permission to enter a body? Well, everyone can do whatever they want? No. If it comes to a Jew that is worshipping idols, at that moment it's midat adin, the soul can enter in. If it's someone who eat now without bracha, it can happen to him. It's very rare that it happens. But in the time of the Chafetz Chaim it happens, and his Talmid, his student, Rabbi Elchanan Wasserman, Hashem Yikom Damo, the Nazis murdered him in the Holocaust. He escaped of Europe, and he went back to die with his student on his free will. He already escaped. He said, my Talmidim are there, I'm going back there. He went there and he got killed. So he was a very big Chacham. He took with him people, 10 people from the yeshiva, and they went to get out the book from this girl. After 1 week that they begged him to come out of the body, making deals with him, we'll read Mishnayot for you, we'll do all these things. After that, he told them one thing. The Chafetz Chaim was the rabbi. Chafetz Chaim. Everyone knows the laws of Lashon Hara thanks to Chafetz Chaim. Before Chafetz Chaim was very complicated. It was Rabbeinu Yonah and almost nothing else. Very difficult to know, but Chafetz Chaim made such a fantastic work. You can basically know all the laws. You learn it seriously. You know what allowed, what not allowed. Exception to the rule. These men, women, people, Jews, non-Jews. You know all the laws from his book. Plus, he was a very big tzaddik. Very big tzaddik. Plus, he was the most important rabbi in the world, and he lived in the highest poverty you can imagine. His house looked like a shed with pieces of wood. Until the New York Times, I think in 1937, they made an article. The most important rabbis in the world, this is where he lived. The whole world was in shock. How can it be? What, the Pope, $1 billion house, gold Rolls Royce, 15 other in a storage, and the most important tzaddik in the world, in a shed with a beret hat. What's going on? Kohen also. So they asked this dibuk, why are you so afraid of the Chafetz Chaim? So what's the option? You can say Chafetz Chaim because of Lashon Hara, Chafetz Chaim this, Chafetz Chaim Tzaddik, Chafetz Chaim Kohen. What did he say? One thing. Biglal atmadato b'Torah. Why is important in Shamayim? He wrote books. Very nice. He's a big tzaddik. Very nice. He's Kohen. Very nice. He taught the whole world about Lashon Hara. Very nice. What's in the end counted the most? Atmadato b'Torah. His devotion to the Torah that never stopped all his life until he reached his 90s.
told that he was Baal Shuvah.
Huh?
At the time he was Baal Shuvah.
No, not Baal Tshuva. The Gemara says like this, Tanu Rabbanan, היו יושבים בבית המדרש. They sit now in the shul in בית המדרש, והביאו אור לפניהם. They brought them the candle of הבדלה, מוצאי שבת, big candle, you know, double candle. בית שמאי אומרים, מברך כל אחד לעצמו. בית שמאי say, everyone make ברוך אתה השם אלוקינו מלך העולם בורא מאורי האש. ראובן קם, בורא מאורי האש. שמעון קם, בורא מאורי האש. יצחק קם, בורא... 10, 5, 10, 20, whatever, it could be even 3 people. Everyone makes בורא מאורי האש. בית הלל, and this is the halacha, say one make for everybody. The Gemara asks, what's the reason for בית הלל that one would say? If other people wants to say, you don't let them? What's the problem? Guess what's the answer? If you did not learn this Gemara, you will never guess it in a million years. What's the answer that one will say bracha for everyone? It's better that each one will say bracha for himself. Bitul Torah. Oh, you're in yeshiva already, that's chacham. Bitul Torah! Why? It makes half a minute of waste of Torah time. Half a minute. What? Motzei Shabbat? Just exploding from the chul and the Rasavo? You know, his head is in the Torah. What? It's Motzei Shabbat? He ran to see the news. Half a minute, Bitul Torah. When Haman made his decree to destroy the Jewish nation, imagine now in the United Nations, Hitler comes, Yimach Shimo, with the whole, he has the power, with the whole backing up, the whole world is backing him up. And he's about to make a law. What's the law? To kill all the Jews in the world. The chief rabbi of Israel in a time like that, who was he? Mordechai. Mordechai was the chief rabbi. What was Mordechai doing? Sitting in a yeshiva, learning Hilchot HaOmer, the laws of the Omer. How can you learn עכשיו? They're making a decree to destroy all the Jews in the world, to kill all of them. Do you mind you cannot to learn the Hilchot HaOmer? It's no joke to learn Torah. It comes before everything. Hilchot HaOmer, Mordechai was learning. The Torah say, Hashem said, Al ma avda haaretz? Why the land was destroyed? Why the nation suffered so much? Al ma avda haaretz? Bet HaMikdash, all the tragedies. Al ozvam et torati. They left my Torah. But this was in a generation that everyone learned Torah. Almost everyone was learning Torah. What do you mean ozvam et torati? Today you can say 70-80% do not know Torah. Never saw the Torah in their life. Maybe 1 minute in their bar mitzvah for the pictures. That's it. But then people know Torah. What? There's nothing else to do. There's no Facebook. There's no YouTube. There's no games. No electronic games. No iPads. No cars. No electric. No sport. What are you gonna do? You learn Torah. It's very interesting. There's nothing more interesting than that. Nothing. So Hashem say, Al ozvam et torati. I want to read to you something incredible. Hashem say, Alevai ve'oti azvu. I wish, Hashem say, that the Jews would leave me. I am their father. I am their king. I am their boss. I am their supplier. I am their oxygen. I am everything for them. But I agree to make a deal. I wish you leave me. Leave me. Say, Hashem, I don't want anything to do with you. Chas v'shalom. Ve'torati shamaru. Let's make a deal, Hashem say. Leave me, but don't stop learning Torah every day. It's worth it for me. You understand what I'm saying here now? Just for that was worth it for you to come. Hashem said to the Jews, you know what? You wanna leave the Torah? No, I have a better deal for you. Leave me and don't leave my Torah. How can it be? What is it like? Imagine a person come to yeshiva every day, and when he comes in, he says chas v'shalom to the people. I want to know. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in anything, but I come to learn Torah. Now, what's good is in this? Because, ma, He learns Torah. Thank you very much, he learned Torah. There's professor in Israel, learn Torah and smoke cigarettes on Shabbat. Professor for Tanakh. Eat on Yom Kippur. Has a ponytail, earring, and he learns Torah. He learns the Nevi'im. He made doctorate. Dr. X. He doesn't keep one mitzvah. He learns it like you learn the newspaper or science. So what do we need? Somebody like that. The answer is, if you learn serious, מאור שבא מחזירם למוטב. If they learn Torah, seriously, it's just a matter of time until the light of the Torah will readjust their heart and their mind, clean the garbage out, and make them fall in love with Hashem. Why? When you see how sweet the Torah, every sugya, how can you not appreciate? Torat Hashem temima machkimat peti. The Torah of Hashem, what does it mean temima? Temima means perfect. Tam, perfect. Machkimat peti, what does it mean machkimat peti? Machkim means make a person wiser. What's peti in Hebrew? Peti, what's peti? Peti מאמין לכל דבר, they say in Israel. So it depends who you ask. If you ask the modern Hebrew speakers, they're going to say petty means someone who believes everything you tell him. But according to the Torah, what does it mean? Machkimat petty. Petty means someone who follow his pituim, desires, temptations. That's the right word. Petty come from the word pituim. Mefateh. Mefateh means attracted, attracting, temptation. That's what it means. So the Torah, machkimat peti. It makes the petty a wise person to know it doesn't pay to touch his desires. It doesn't pay to follow those temptations. Because in the end, when they hand you the bill will be very expensive. One tiny temptation, 10 minutes of pleasure, horrible bill. Serious payment. It's not another joke. So the only way the Torah says, En Amar, it's Chassid. It cannot be. You cannot be an ignorant person and at the same time to be a tzaddik that keep all the mitzvot. How are you going to keep if you don't know what to keep? What's the thing that it's the biggest obstacle between a person to Hashem? A person wants to stick to Hashem, to be glued to Hashem, to feel the light of Hashem, to feel the presence of Hashem, and there is something who always separates between him and Hashem. It's a serious obstacle. What is it? What's the thing that the person wants? Hashem, I want to come, I want. And always like he's getting pushed back. What is it? תאוות הגוף והעולם הזה, the desires of the body and this desires of this physical world. So desire to physical pleasure takes away the person from the desire to the most beautiful, perfect spiritual thing, which is Hashem. Two opposites. There is black and white. You're attracted to the black. At that time, you're not attracted to the white. The other way around, it's the opposite. You're attracted to material, temporary pleasure. At the same time, you cannot be at the same time attracted to Hashem, which is the total opposite of this temporary illusion. That's the answer to many people who ask, why Hashem brings so much sufferings on us? Don't get married, or got married and it didn't work out, problems with the children, so many death casualties, problems, accidents, government issues, traffic every day, destroy you. You want to go to work, make a living, 2 hours to get there, 3 hours to come back, get home, 2 minutes you have to eat, right away the next day starts. What's going on here? You want to be a doctor, you kill yourself, medical school, this, that, you finish, in the end, no job. Go everywhere, no job. Say, okay, you want to work? 40,000 a year. Go and pay now your student loans and all this. What's going on here? There's a lot of suffering in this world. Lots of unemployment, lots of fights and lashon hara and family issues and wars. And we didn't even mention the Arabs. Even without them, there's so much problems. Now add the Hamas and the Hezbollah and the terrorism and take off your shoes and pay the double for every airfare and suffer so much insecurity and all the rest of the problem. We make a list of how much suffering a person have in a life. You say, you know what? When I look at this list, better not to even start. Who wants to get into this marathon with so many problems? Why Hashem does it? Suffering is actually the opposite of the purpose of the creation of the human being. The Ramchal in Mesilat Yesharim, the first page in the first chapter, he explained why Hashem made the soul of a human being. Why he puts it in a body and puts it in this world. Why? Because a person's creation was to make him enjoy what Hashem did for him. But everybody sees that in this world the person doesn't get the pleasure. So the pleasure, the Ramchal explained, is to the afterlife. So why we need to be here to begin with? The answer, you have to earn the ticket. You're born with that, but it's not active right now. In order for you to earn this prize that Hashem promised, you have to be amel b'Torah, you have to be amel against your desires, and to earn it, to correct yourself. So why Hashem is bringing so much suffering? If the purpose that a person will have pleasure, why He gives us so many sufferings? The answer is, what really makes the person close to Hashem? When you interfere with his physical desire. If you interfere with his desire, let's say a person enjoy to eat non-stop. And then, chas v'shalom, he has stomach issues now. He cannot eat now. You see the food, but cannot eat. Can't eat. He will eat, he'll die. So chas v'shalom, they feed him with a tube or something. I know a few people like this. He cannot enjoy the steaks anymore. He cannot enjoy. After a while, what happened? That's it. He gets used to his new life. The desire goes after a while. That's how the person lives with his new life. Got used to it. Person that was a great athlete, played sport, basketball, running, enjoying playing ball. One day he gets injured or get old. He cannot run anymore. He has the desire very much, but it hurts very much. He cannot run. He's not in shape. So what happened? He desires very much, but he cannot do it. So automatically, when you take away the physical desire of the person, or you make it obsolete, right away his connection to Hashem begins to improve. But if the person makes a lot of money and is busy with all the going out and cars and vacations and clothes, he doesn't have time for Hashem. It's obvious. Comes HaKadosh Baruch Hu and eliminate the body to help the soul to rise. When the body is enjoying too much, the soul doesn't rise. The soul is depressed. The soul is under the control of the body. Hashem helps us by giving us all these things to make the body weaker in order for the soul to overcome the test. Yesterday we read, Im bechukotai telechu. Everybody explained, שתהיו עמלים בתורה. That you be in full efforts in the learning Torah. That's one of the most important things in life. שתהיו עמלים. Not that you learn Torah, that you learn Torah in such level that you give every inch of your sweat, of your energy, of everything for the Torah. It's a very big sacrifice. The word say, the Torah say, Adam la'amal yulad. Hashem expects us in this world to work. This is olam ha'asiyah. Nobody came here for picnic like some people think. Everyone has a dream to make enough money that you don't have to do anything. But that's against the purpose. The real purpose is what? The real purpose is to work very hard over here. If you don't work at work, you're going to work somewhere else. If not there, Hashem will find you what to do. Why? If he brought you here to lay on your back all day and do nothing, he doesn't need you here. You miss your purpose. The Gemara says like this. The Gemara in Masechet Brachot, page 5. Gimel matanot tovot nitnu liYisrael. 3 gifts Hashem gave to the nation of Israel. וכולם לא נתנן אלא על ידי איסורים. 3 gifts. In order for a person to have possession of the gift of Hashem, the only way to get it is to go through a period of suffering. What are the 3 gifts? 1, Torah. You'll never be a Talmid Chacham unless you go through a serious efforts and suffering and sacrifice until you become what you become. History, you can become a professor for history with no effort. You learn, you become. Torah, it's not the same, because Torah, the Satan, the Yetzer Hara resist you non-stop. He'll do everything he can to cancel your learning, everything. There's no Yetzer Hara not to learn history or math or anything else. Over here, you learn with a serious resistance of an angel who hates what you do. That's his job, his program. He'll do everything he can to make you not be focused in your learning. Second, Eretz Israel. Moving to Israel, settling in Israel, nightmare. Until you find a place. Until you find a neighborhood that will be good for you, for your wife, for the children, for your style of people you are. Not every neighborhood can suit you. Until you are able to put your children in yeshivot. Ooh, like Kriyat Yam Suf. Because sometimes you get lucky, you put 1 or 2 easy, and then the 3rd one you cannot find yeshiva. So this place is not good. So you have to go to another place. You put 3 in, the 4th one cannot get. What are you going to do? Leave him at home? If you have 7 or 8 or 10, now you have to find, it's mamash nes gamur. To find schools for all of them in one city. And then to register in all the bureaucracy of Israel. Ooh, why? And then to get used to different mentality with 110, 120 degrees and the heat and traffic and people honking and rockets and sirens and people hiding under the ground. Siren, someone shot the missile. And then finally you found a job, you make money, you pay 50% tax. A lot of struggle. Until after a few years of real suffering, you say, Baruch Hashem, we settled in Israel. And still there are challenges, but in the first few years, very difficult. You want to move to the Holy Land, my friend? Get ready for a serious battle. Even if you take $10 million cash with you, expect a serious struggle. Money solves some problems, but not the main problems. So this is another problem. Next one, Olam Haba. To get a ticket for Olam Haba, until the last breath you take, you're still not sure if you're going to get there. Serious problem. A person walk. A minute before he died, can he sign a personal guarantee that he's going to heaven? We think, now, every one of us, if we connect us to a lie detector, everyone, when they ask him, tell me, where do you think your place will be in Olam Haba? I believe that 99% of the people would say, between Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Shimon on the stage in the VIP section. Right, Rabbi, I'm a Baal Tshuva. I shomer Shabbat. I start to dress modest. I eat kosher. I donate money. No, Baal Tshuva, no. The only problem is, it's very nice to be Baal Tshuva, but you have to be a real Baal Tshuva. Most of the people are dreaming that they're Baal Tshuva. They're not. They're not learning every day. They never corrected their personality. They're still full of ego. They're still full of anger. They still have no patience for anyone. They still think they make the money, not Hashem. They still lie and cheat and steal and all kinds of things. They still suck the blood of the government with all kinds of tricks to double and triple the income. When they make more money than Obama. So what's going on? What happened to the religion? What happened to the tshuva? Reality-wise, for a man, it's impossible to do a perfect tshuva without taking the time out from his secular style that he lived all his life, cut it, and come to yeshiva with full devotions to the Torah, minimum 6 months. It's just not possible to do a perfect tshuva. You can do a nice tshuva, I'm not saying no. Depends also on your nature. But to do a perfect tshuva without taking a time out, change completely your environment, sit in yeshiva and start from the beginning and progress until you know how to learn on your own, to open books, to get your answers to your question, to learn the right ideology. How many people in their beard sweep the floor when they walk and they have no idea what the Jewish ideology bichlal? You ask them, what's more important? To go to the army or to be a big chacham that teach Torah 2000? 99% of them will tell you to be a soldier. When to be someone who teach Torah and save souls is 1 billion times more important. Not that soldiers is not important. It's important like doctor is important. It's important like other things. It's important. But it's nothing whatsoever compared to Torah. Nothing. It's not in the same league to compare. Okay, that's 90%, that's 89%. Or somebody say, no, it's the other way around. This is 90 and this is 89. When it's close, it's a close call. Like in boxing. You take 2 great boxers, the referees are not sure. He thinks he won, he thinks he won. But if you take a little kid, with all due respect, and you take the boxers in the wall, you give him 500 punches, he's dead already on the floor, he's still punching him. They say, okay, we're not sure what's more important. Who won the fight? It's not a battle, bichlal. Let me give you some things that you understand what does it mean to learn Torah and to teach Torah. The Torah says like this. When a person speaks Torah, according to all opinions, it counts like learning. What happens when a person hears Torah and a person think about Torah? Does it also count as learning or no?
Yes.
Person hear a tape now. It's considered Torah? Person sit here and here in the other room people learn and he listens to them. Does it count he learn? Or only when he participates and talk and ask and get answers? When does it, what's considered to be learner of Torah? It's very critical. You can learn all your life Torah by hearing or by thinking and it doesn't count nothing in the end. You're not afraid? We have to clarify it. Baruch Hashem, we have the Talmud. It answers us all the questions. So speaking Torah, no question. Hearing Torah, also fine. Baruch Hashem. You're all sitting now and you're listening. It's count like you're speaking. Shomea ke'oneh. Same thing like bracha. I make bracha and all of you say amen. You can all eat. I say borei pri ha'etz. All of you have grapes. You eat, no problem. You have in mind, I have you in mind. One says for everyone like we said a minute ago. What happened about thinking Torah? Just thinking. The Gemara says like this, and you see 10, 15 minutes, you're thinking about something you learned in the Gemara an hour ago. Count learning or no?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Let's see what the Gemara says and what the Rambam says להלכה. דברי תורה, כשאדם מדבר, לכו לעלמא הרי הוא לומד תורה. When a person speaks, according to all opinions, no one contradict it. It's counted like superb learning. Tosfot in Masechet Brachot, page Chaf, it says, Baal Keri, someone that was with his wife and is not pure. He did not go to the mikveh yet. In the old days, it used to be Gzera, Takanat Ezra. That everyone was with his wife. He got the Tumah of the Keri. He has to go to the mikveh in order for him to participate in holy things, like Torah, Tefillah, etc. Later they saw that it's very difficult for the people because the mikveh of those days wasn't like today, $10 million mikveh with a hot steam and beautiful, delicious smell towels, you know, and beautiful mirrors, and amigos standing over there offering you 10 different kinds of perfume. It was a different kind of world. You have to go to the mikveh, winter time, you have to go to Tiberias, the water is freezing, or to the Banyas Lake. And you have to go over there, and sometimes the snakes there, and all kinds of things. scary. Or they made a big hole in the ground with stairs. You have to go over there with a candle, and there's tons of snakes and all kinds of animals going there. Animals also, they smell water, they want to go drink. So you go over there, no light, no chandeliers, no marbles, no elevator up and down. You have to walk with a lamp, with some oil. The people say, you know what? If I have to go every time a person will be with his wife to go to the mikveh, better not to be. It started to affect the marriages. As a part of the marriage is intimate relationship. So when the Chachamim saw that it's affecting the mood of the people, they canceled the decree. They canceled it. Why? There's a rule. Every decree the Chachamim made and the people cannot tolerate it. Not that the people decided to rebel against it. No. That naturally they try, but they're not making it. 80-90% cannot keep it. So they stood and canceled it. But of course it's a good thing to do, especially today. It's very easy, quick, two blocks, goes in the mikveh, you pay a few dollars and finish. Now this is what it says in Tosfot. Tosfot says, Baal Keri, someone who did not go to the mikveh, is still dirty. Mutar leharher bedivrei Torah, is allowed to think about divrei Torah, but is not allowed to say divrei Torah. But he can think divrei Torah. But even to hear divrei Torah, it's not good. So what do we see from here? That to hear divrei Torah is just like speak divrei Torah. Shomea keoneh. Doesn't matter who speaks, you or the one you're learning with. One speaks and everyone participates by hearing, it's count like they all say the same things. So now every word I say in Shamayim, it goes to your account. One day you come in front of Hashem, and Hashem count how much Torah you said in your life, the hour that I'm about to speak here tonight, Bukharian hour. You know, I still another 10-15 minutes with your permission. So what does it say? Let's count like you spoke for an hour and 15 minutes Torah. Today I was in Maryland. Something interesting happened there. There was a Lag BaOmer event, Achnasat Sefer Torah, and my lecture in Hebrew. So in the middle of the lecture, I started to say, if a person will only know the value of Torah, he will never dare to get up in the middle of the lecture and leave. Because when he comes to Shamayim, and Hashem would show him how much he made up to the minute he got up, and from then until the end of the lecture, for going to do something stupid probably. 99.9% of the time, there's no reason to get up. Besides laziness, stupid text, or stupid television show. What reasons people get up in the middle of Shiur Torah? What? I can put my life on the line that 99% of the time, it does not justify it according to the law. Life risk, allowed. The wife is depressed at home, allowed. To go save life of a person, allowed. You may maybe lose a big amount of money, no, allowed. If you don't have enough emunah, fine. But most of the time, why you get up? You're tired, you're sitting too long, you're already 10 minutes on a chair, it's too much for you. You want to meet someone to pick up a check, no, that's justified to get up in the middle. There's a stupid show starting, there's a Super Bowl game, you don't want to miss the first punch, that Vinny will hit the ball. How can you live without it, Rabbi? Well, you want to kill us? What? So as soon as I say that, two guys got up. They said, we have guests coming today. And they got up and left. Michael? Oh, the way he tells me, there are things in life I can never understand. So I say, what? He say, a minute after, not even a minute, 30 seconds after I say a person will come to Shamayim, he will see how much he lost. I was doing the calculation of the Chafetz Chaim. Chafetz Chaim calculated that in 1 minute of learning or hearing Torah, it counts 1,000 mitzvot from the Torah in average. It should be plus minus, an average minute. So if a person left half an hour before the lecture finished, how much he lost? 30,000 mitzvot, which probably he will not do until the rest of his life. So I say exactly like this. What is it like that someone say, open your hand or open your bag, and he gives you diamonds? 1, 2, 3, and you say, I have to smoke a cigarette. Let me go. If you see somebody like that someone puts diamonds in his hand and say, oh, I have to go smoke. Would you agree that your daughter marries such a fool? Huh? So why you agree that someone who gets up in the middle of Shiur Torah, tomorrow you run after him? Marry my daughter. It's worse. Diamonds is nothing compared to Torah. David HaMelech, the king of the world. Tov li Torah picha me'alfei zahav v'chesed. Person comes to yeshiva 1 month, 10 hours a day roughly, 60,000 mitzvot per hour, 600,000 mitzvot per day, 5.5 days. How many mitzvot? More than 300,000 per week. 1.2 million in an average month. 1 month. No, do you know one person that is very religious, that does not come to yeshiva ever, who will do 1.2 million mitzvot in his entire life? He has to live 900 years to get to this number. What do you think? Torah is a joke? Torah, it's a separate league. Torah, it's a separate league. And there's only one thing, that is a separate league from the Torah. Torah, all the mitzvot of the Torah, with all due respect, of course, they're all important, it's all a divine order, in one league. And then the Torah, it's in another league. Limud Torah keneged kulam, nothing comes near learning Torah. And there is another league. How they say in America, they used to have a regular credit card. Then they made gold. Then gold wasn't exciting anymore. So they made platinum. So now all the people with the gold felt very foolish. Until now, they used to show off. They open the wallet everywhere on a date that you see that, you know, the uncle Sam trusts him, he pays his bills on time. It's important. It's a good reference. But now gold is like, gold. Now platinum. What's the platinum of the mitzvot?
Torah.
Torah, it's the gold, I say.
True.
Chazak u'baruch. We need an answer only comes from LA, Baruch Hashem. Kiruv, teaching, saving souls, making people shomrei mitzvot. In any way possible, with money, with your mouth, with CDs, with everything you can. I sent a guy to Rav Chaim Kanievsky a week ago. A little bit more than a week, thank you. A little bit more than a week. הכל נהיה פתרון. A little bit more than a week, he went from Yerushalayim to Bnei Brak with 2 more people to ask him what's more important, to support Torah learning, people who sit and learn, or to support saving souls, giving people CDs, sponsoring activity of Shiurei Torah. Rav Chaim Kanievsky, not just another rabbi, the chief of the world. He told them absolutely kiruv. So I said to the guy, you have it on tape? He said, no, what? 3 witnesses is not enough? I said, for me it's enough. But then if I said to the world, one day a person will come to me, how do I know you're saying the truth? We always grew up with this, limud Torah keneged kulam. Torah, it's like equal to everything combined. You're making up something new now. So now he's going to go this week and film it. And I'll post it on my Facebook, and you can always see in your own eyes what he says. I've been saying it for 20 years. But Baruch Hashem, now you have a stamp on it. Of the biggest chacham, or at least one of the top 3, with no argument. Everybody agree. Most people would say the biggest chacham. You don't want to think the biggest chacham, but everyone agrees it's the top 3 in the world, so it's good enough. Right? So, after I say how much a person makes in a minute, these 2 guys got up. We have guests coming soon. That's a good guest. The guests wait another half an hour. It's not the end of the world. The wife will give them coffee, or give them ashpolo a little bit. She'll entertain them, don't worry. What happened? This is the way the world is. But it gets better. Listen, it says like this. Rambam in Ilchot Talmud Torah, chapter 3. כל המשמיע קולו בשעת תלמוד תורתו תלמודו מתקיים בידו, אבל הקורא בלחש במהרה הוא שוכח. again, כל המשמיע קולו בשעת לימודו, תלמודו מתקיים. Someone who learned loud, he doesn't just read in his mind. He reads, and even if he's alone in a room, but he reads when he learns a little bit loud, doesn't have to scream, but that his ears listen to what he speaks. It gets engraved in his memory, in his subconscious. I wonder after 10 years you come and you ask him that, it's much easier for him to pull it out of his storage. But if you only review it, even a month later he doesn't remember. Why? Because even you know that even in a computer there's a way to put something that stays there and it's very difficult to take it off. And this thing in 1 second you remove it off. Why? A person has to say it. The way Hashem made it, when a person hears, when a brain hears, it gets recorded in a brain much better. So a person can learn 30, 40 years Torah by himself without speaking. Chabad. All the Torah he learned, almost everything after that he forgets, because he does not say it loud. The Gemara in Masechet Smachot, this is what the Gemara says. En mevatlim Talmud Torah. You do not close the books in the middle of learning in a yeshiva or in a shiur. Ad shetetze nishmato shel hamet. Until the soul of the sick person would come out, you have no permission to close the Gemara or the Chumash or whatever you're learning. The Gemara brings a story. כשהיה רבי שמעון בנו של רבי עקיבא חולה, the son of Rabbi Akiva was struggling to live. לא ביטל את בית מדרשו. Rabbi Akiva said to all the yeshiva, everyone learns as usual. Nobody closed the books. Nobody go to sit next to his bed. And he himself, the father of the boy, wasn't a boy. The father himself was learning Torah as usual. Giving shiurim. Son is struggling for his life. He said, after a while, he put a messenger there to report. There was no telephones. So the messenger runs from the hospital back and forth to say what's the situation. First time he came, he said, Nit'an. His disease became harder now. אמר לרבי עקיבא לתלמידיו, שאלו. Rabbi Akiva said, no, questions please. I just told you your son, he has maybe another hour to live. What's going on, Rabbi? What is this? He said, continue the questions. בא שני, אמר לו הכביד. Second messenger came. So it got now really bad. Even worse. Rabbi Akiva say, continue, don't stop. Third one came, say goses, minutes. No. What is supposed to do? Run quickly to the hospital, son, I love you, mwah, say shema, we'll pray for you. Do tshuva. No, ma. Sits in the yeshiva as usual. Fourth one came, Ishlim, passed away, יצא נשמתו, his soul came out, עמד, Rabbi Akiva got up, חלץ את תפיליו, he took off tefillin, because in those days everyone wore tefillin all day. קרע את בגדיו, he ripped his shirt, ואמר להם, and he said to them, אחינו בני ישראל, my brothers, Jewish people, until now, we were obligated from Hashem to learn Torah. Nothing comes near it. Now, from now on, we are obligated in the respect and honoring the dead. Which means nothing puts the learning of the Torah on hold. Unless, if there's chas v'shalom a mitzvah that nobody else can do it, and the mitzvah would pass, and it will be dismissed from the world, you have a temporary permission to run to the mitzvah and run quickly to your learning. If someone thinks that it's too hard for him to learn, so let me leave the yeshiva and volunteer to Atzala. Atzala is a very big schut. To save life, to go, people, Atzala people have few chances in their life to actually save life. Person almost is dead, or somebody swallow his tongue. He comes, he takes it out, he saves his life. Another 5 minutes, he'll be dead. Or infections, people who did not think it's serious. But he was trained to know that if you continue like this another day or two, the kid can die. And right away took him to the hospital and they did something. And all kinds of other things. Losing blood. Pregnancy that Chas v'Shalom got complicated. They save life. There's no question that they do a wonderful thing. But if they become Hatzalah 40 years from morning to night, it would not be equal to 1 day in yeshiva. 1 day in yeshiva, it would not be equal. Remember what I just said. Gadol, not me, who am I? The Torah say, Gadol, Talmud, Torah, yoter mehatzalat nefashot. Learning Torah is greater than saving people that die. They're about to die. If somebody else would save their life, better for me to learn. Don't fight with your friend. Let me go and save his life. You learn instead of me. No, your job is better than his. Let him save his life, and you focus on that time and learn Torah for the success of this neshama, of this boy, or this patient, whatever it is. What do you think? It's a joke? I hope you begin to understand how severe it is and how important is the obligation to learn Torah. In case you're wasting it, you're wasting this obligation on nonsense, at least you wake up a little bit. The Gemara says, Mevatlim Talmud Torah lekriyat Megillah in Purim. The Gemara gives us permission. Purim comes. Everyone can close the Gemara and go to the shul to hear the reading of the Megillah. The Gemara say, what's the news? I was learning Torah until now. I come here and I continue to learn Torah. Now it's the subject, Purim. I was learning Brachot. I was learning Shabbat. Time arrived to read Megillah. Now I read the Megillah. It's a part of the Torah. Megillah Esther, it's a part of the Tanakh. So what is the chidush? What's so special? That you're telling me that I'm allowed to close the Gemara and go hear Megillah. We just say that you hear Megillah, it's like you're reading the Megillah. You're reading the Megillah, it's like learning Torah. The answer is, the learning of Torah is so important that the level of the learning, how difficult and important it is, it's a whole different league. You read Tehillim in yeshiva, Tehillim it's also Torah. It's a part of the Tanakh. You read some explanation of the Psukim. Nice. Very nice. Learning. But you learn Gemara now with Tosfot, you break your head. Much higher level. So if you run from difficult to easy, you need special permission. Otherwise, it's a violation. Violation. It's like in a work. You hire a worker, and it always wants to go to the easy things. So I'm not paying you to cut boxes in the back. I'm paying you to do the special job, even though it's hard there and it's hot here and you're sweating, you run around to the air condition, do nothing there. No. You need special permission for the boss to lower the efforts. Why? It's a whole different league. 1 hour with efforts is like 100 without efforts. Then it says like this. Chazon Ish said something shocking. אם יזכה האדם להרגיש את הרע, if a person will have the zchut, the merit, to feel the רע, the bad, והנמאס, that it's disgusted, בהיעדר ידיעת התורה, that is an ignorant Jew, doesn't know Torah, or doesn't know enough. He gets to a moment in his life and he sits in his living room, or in his kitchen, or in his car, or in his office, doesn't matter where. He sits and tears starting to fall. He's crying, with a broken heart. Why is he crying? He came to the final realization that when it comes to learning Torah, his level is so low that it's a total zero. It breaks his heart. Look at me. I'm 30, I'm 40, I'm 60, whatever he is. And I don't know nothing. Yeah, I keep mitzvot. I hear a little bit here and there. Not one page in the Gemara I know, from A to Z, to explain. They come and tell me, Mr. X, we want you to replace the rabbi 1 hour in any subject in the Torah that you know really good. You choose. There are millions of subjects, millions, literally millions, to know. A person like Chacham Ovadia Alav Shalom, he could have given you 1,000,000 different lectures. It's not an exaggeration. In every page he can give you 100 lectures in the Talmud, and there are thousands of pages. What about the Navi? What about Tehillim? You can make hundreds of lectures about Tehillim. We have a shul next to my home, there's a rabbi there, Rabbi Schlesinger. He's teaching almost the whole year the Tfilah. Whole year. Shiurim every week. And he arrived to Baruch Shamar. That means it's going to take 3-4 years to finish the Tfilah only. 3-4 years, 1 times a week, 52 weeks a year, 200-300 shiurim almost, right, just to understand the Tfilah, the secrets of the prayers. What about the Torah? There's only the Tfilah. It's endless. So a person, they come and say to Mr. X, 1 hour you come to the yeshiva, prepare your notes, give 1 hour speech in Sugiyah in the Torah from A to Z. That if people would raise their hand and ask you difficult question, they won't scare you. That you know this is your topic. And a person thinking and say, you know what? I don't even know one subject from A to Z to present it to the people. So they tell him, okay, we'll make you a discount. You don't have to talk. Write it. Maybe you'll get nervous from the audience. Write it. Record it. Edit. Bring us a recording. He won't know. How can he not cry? How can he not pull his hair off? That not one subject in the Torah of Hashem he knows. Not one. He knows how to cut hair very nice. He knows how to look at the diamond and fool the customer. This diamond is not D. It's H. No, you're wrong. He knows. He knows how to fool the customer from JFK to Manhattan, from Connecticut he takes him. He knows a lot of things. You ask him about stocks, he tell you the color of the stocks of the president of the company 10, 15 years ago. Everything he knows. FDA, this, FBI investigation, the stock, the crash, 1987, the president, his wife. No, something from the Gemara. Gemara? What is it? One time a Baba came to Queens. Baba. Big long peot. Close his eyes. God forbid we'll see maybe something not kosher. And make atzagot, you know, atzagot, make a nice show. So I said to one guy, one of my brand new Baalei Tshuva, maybe he was a month religious, this guy. So deep today, until today, learns Torah maybe 15 years. That was 15 years ago, that story. I told him this guy is 100% fake. He said, how can you say such a thing? They brought him to give a blessing to someone that was sick. I tell you, 100% show off. He said, you don't believe? I said, you don't believe me? Take the Gemara, go ask him. I tell him, explain to me this Rashi and what the Tosfot say. So he went to the guy. The guy did not know which side is Rashi, which side is Tosfot. Believe it? He had a nice beard, closed his eyes with a mask, comes to the airport. Christine say, Senor, open your eyes. Shh, no. I have to shmirat ha'inayim. Sir, he doesn't understand any what she says. So he has a shamash, don't worry, he's holding his hand. He say, Rabbi, he אומרת that you have to take the masecha. No, not allowed. I don't want to tell you what was the end of him. Not that I was right. Multiply by what I say by 1,000. Multiply what I say by 1,000. Not only was Rasha and faker, complete Rasha merusha, doing the worst thing that you can imagine, the worst. And they brought him to give bracha. Why none of them check if you know how to read Rashi first? Do you think someone can be holy without knowing Torah? What made him holy? That he kissed the statue of Maria every morning? Or Buddha? What makes him holy exactly? He kissed the mezuzah? What makes a person holy? His grandfather was a big tzaddik? He eats meat at 6 a.m.? What makes him holy? No, you tell me. You listen to the news and to the baseball updates. Only one thing makes a person holy. Torah, Yirat Shamayim, and being righteous, which is all one unit. Without it, I don't know. I didn't see anybody holy. In India, you have the Sikhs. They wear turbans. They have all white beards. They wear white kilts. If you write in a newspaper here, Tzaddik come to town, 5,000 people will stand online all day. That a minute after he kissed Buddha's feet, he comes and give you, not bracha, klala lo aleinu. But people would go. Someone told me on Shabbat, was by my house, that in Jerusalem they found a grave. Somewhere they found a grave. Nobody knew who the grave belonged. So the few guys from the yeshiva, they decided to say that it's Hercules' grave. Hercules. Who is Hercules? That's the name they say on Shabbat. You heard that story? Hercules. Now you should see what line every day coming to this grave. People kissing the grave. In the end, it's Mustafa buried there. Mustafa from the Hamas. Someone that they have a reason to hide his grave. What does it tell you? Every day people come. Soon there's going to be somebody making a gate, charging money to come into the site. He'll make a nice arch and a room and a mikveh they'll put. They say it's a holy mikveh from 3,000 years ago that the tzaddik used to go in. That's what's happening. A new industrial. Judaism is taking a new direction today. I had a lecture. In Judaism, we, instead of worshipping the dead with all due respect, so some of them were giants and big holy chachamim, of course, it's important. But why don't we work and learn with the living ones? We have living chachamim. They can answer us what we need to learn. What is going to help me to go by a grave and ask questions? I get the answer by the dream. So it says like this. The Chazon Ish says, if a person gets to this level that he realizes that he doesn't know any Torah, until עד שימס לבבו בבכי, that his heart will melt from crying. Melt, feel like fire in your heart. You cried so much from disappointment from yourself and realizing your situation, spiritual I'm talking. ימס לבבו בבכי לפני הקדוש ברוך הוא, הנה ידע האדם, here is the person already has to know that if he got to this level once in his life, that he started to cry like a kid, and they ask him, why are you crying, Moshe? Why are you crying, Yitzchak? Why? I realized that all my life was a show. I don't even know one sugya in the Torah. Not one chapter in Halacha. Not one page in Gemara. Not one Tosfot in a Gemara 100%. Nothing. So how can I not cry? I stand in front of Hashem, such a bushot, 7 years he gave me brain, and all I did is using it for nonsense. הנה ידע האדם כי כבר זכה להרבה, ואשרי חלקו וכבר מובטח לו שתפילתו נשמעת. If you got to this level, you should already know, don't underestimate yourself. That's already a huge achievement, that you finally realize what your sickness is. Most people would die without knowing what was their spiritual sickness. They live in a dream. I did, and I know, and I comes in front of Hashem, boom! One smack, make him fly 1 billion years. What's going on here? All his life was all an illusion. He thinks he's the president of the congregation, the head of the board. Tomorrow I'm going to speak in a school. So the woman over there that organized the lecture called me on the way here. How long she was on the phone? 20, 30 minutes? With diplomacy, softening me up, that I won't say chas v'shalom the word punishment, or chas v'shalom I won't mention the word olam haba, the world to come, or chas v'shalom I won't offend any other fake religion, In other words, after we finished the conversation, she basically told me, just come say hi, kids. We'll see you next year. Why? So I say to her, but I don't understand. She said, last time you were here, everyone was happy except one person complained. What? A secular teacher. So I said, since when we care what the secular teacher cares? He believes he came from the monkey. I care what he thinks. So I didn't tell her that, but I'm just saying, what do I care what he thinks? Secular. We're speaking in yeshiva. I care what the teacher thinks. He's teaching math, history, whatever he teaches. Fine, thank you very much, take your money, goodbye. You're not exactly Rosh Yeshiva here. So she said, no, but I'm afraid that maybe some of the kids will also be offended. So I said, okay, listen, this is the way Torah is. You teach the truth. Most people appreciate it. Some people don't like it. So she said, yeah, but there's a problem. No, one guess. What's special about these kids? They are the kids of the member of the boards. They are the one who control the checkbook. And then she told me believe me, in a very nice way, nice woman. What did she say? I care to keep my job. She already knows who she's dealing with. These wicked people will hear one thing about Mechalel Shabbat, they go after her and fire her. They have to take their anger on someone, no? Me, what they can do to me? The worst, they put an article against me in Facebook and they won't invite me anymore. Oh, sad, it happens all the time. What? But her, she's going to lose her job. So, if a person got to a level that he cried because he does not know Torah, he already should know that this is a step up in his level. That he got to this level to realize finally how bad is my situation. And after he cried like this, whatever he will ask from Hashem, tfilato nishmat. If Hashem will give it to him right away or not, I don't know. It depends if it's good for him. But for sure, the tefillah went express to Hashem. Why? Sha'arei dima lo ninalu. Gates of tears never got locked. And plus, a person is crying for something real. Not crying for money, not crying for honor. It's crying for not knowing Torah. It's mitzvah to cry for this. What are we saying every morning? ונהיה אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי צאצאינו כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. Rabbi Ovadia alav hashalom every morning in his life cried when he came to this bracha. Tears. That me and my children and my grandchildren will all know your Torah and learn Torah for the sake of heaven. Rabbi Dere told me when I was there on one Shabbat a few weeks ago, he told me, you see this guy, there's Chatan over there. Adler his name. Chatan. Half Ashkenazi, half Persian. So this Adler got married and he had a lot of pressure not to make a kosher wedding. You know, some people want, you know, mechitza, it's a bone in the neck. Some people, as soon as they come to a religious wedding, they begin to text. Moshe, I'm coming from the right, you come from the left. As soon as I say go, you knock down the mechitza. God forbid that the ladies will be on one side. I always say, if you want to make shalom bayit between husband and wife, there are two ways. The long way and the short way. The long way needs a lot of sessions, lots of patience, until something is improving. Maybe yes, maybe not. You want to make wonderful love between them? Invite them to an ultra-Orthodox wedding. So now, this is what's going on. They're at home. They're about to come to the wedding. But you don't tell them the wedding is ultra-religious and men here, women there, that they won't see each other for 2 hours. So now, when they're home, they curse each other. I wish you died. I'm going to kill you. I'm calling 911. All day like this. Not in front of the children. You can hit me later. Be quiet. Finally, they got in a car. She sits like this, cleaning the tears. And he's like this, smoking and atzbani. They arrive finally. They arrive, he fix his tie. Wait, what's going to be tonight? Wait. They come in. Sir, to the right, man, to the left. What is this? It's a religious wedding. Men here, women here. What? I'm not going to be with my husband? What is this? You tell me I cannot sit next to my wife? What are you, crazy? It's Iran here? Sir, yes. Respect the Khatan and Kala. No! Moshe, give me the check. The 1,000, she deletes 0 already. After 5 minutes, let's go, Moshe. 10 years they want to kill each other. Each one a private detective, private investigator. They were praying in Tehillim, Shir LaMa'alot. Take her already. Shir LaMa'alot, take him already. All of a sudden, he comes 5 minutes to a religious wedding. I want to sit next to him. Please don't separate 5 minutes. That's the show-off of this world. The world of the show-off and the lies. Now, if a person comes, Reuven, just a person, and not, you know, nothing special, ordinary Jew, he comes and says, you ask him, tell me, how is this guy Shimon? So he said, oh, he's Chacham, he knows Torah. But this guy Reuven is nothing special. He himself Amaretz, doesn't know any Torah. You ask him, how is this Shimon? He says, oh, he knows a lot. Would you sign your personal guarantee on it? That Reuven told you that he knows Torah? You have a lot of question marks. But if Rav Chaim Kanievsky come and say to you, Kvod Harav, how is this Reuven? How is this Shimon? Talmid Chacham. Now you know, wow. But you're thinking, maybe someone told the rabbi a story. Maybe he doesn't know 100%. Maybe he assumes. Maybe, you know, he hears from other people. Still there's a little doubt. If the Rambam come to you in your dream, don't question Shimon. It's a big Talmid Chacham. I said, okay, Rav Chaim Kanievsky, but the Rambam, what? And if HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes to you and says, Shimon is a big Chacham, you have a doubt? After that, you put your life in his hand. Rabbi, whatever you tell me, I do. How you trust me so much? Hashem told me, you're a big Chacham. So we see the Torah say, shochad, bribery, will blind the eyes of the Chachamim. Shochad, Hashem says in the Torah, receiving bribe, make the Chacham, the big Rav, the big Talmid Chacham, unable to see the truth. If he got from a person in a Beit Din before as a nice compliment or a gift or some donation, it's very hard for him to see now the truth. Not that he knows which one is correct, which one is lying, and he goes to the opposite side. No, that's not what the Torah says. He cannot see who is right. He sees the opposite. It's affecting his subconscious. It's amazing what the shochad does. It's like a spiritual curse. It's not what most people think. You ask 99% of the people, say, what does the bribe does to a judge? So the answer would be, the judge received the bribe an hour before the trial, for a lot of money was wired to his account. He know Reuven against Shimon, Reuven is right. But since he got money from Shimon, he knows that Shimon is wrong, but he say, you don't have any proof against Shimon, there is doubt, I clear the case. That's what people think. That's not what the Torah says. Torah doesn't say that. The judges in a court today, that's the way it is. But when it comes to real chachamim, chas v'shalom, that they're going to do such a thing. It's murder. To take the side of the guilty person against the innocent? You lose your shirt to the world to come right away. What do you think? It's a joke? Even they give you $1 billion, it's not worth it. The price you pay is going to be a lot worse. So how in the end they will rule against the truth? They won't be able to see the truth. You connect them a minute later to a lie detector 500 times. You will prove that he believed that what he did was correct. That's what the Torah says. The Torah did not say we twist the truth by the judges. No. It would blind them. They won't be able to see. Why? It's called negiut, nogea badavar. Just like a father cannot see that his son is guilty in his school when he had a fight with someone else. Right away he comes with the full intention, how do I find the other kid guilty? Why you don't come with the opposite approach? How do I find my son guilty? Maybe there's a chance it's 50-50, no? And sometimes you even know that his son is not exactly, a big tzaddik. But he still goes to find negative in the other one. Why? It's his son. It's his reputation. Nogea badavar, it's bribe. That's why it's very difficult to convince a person that lives with a goya to keep mitzvot. Not that he doesn't know the Torah is real. Of course he knows. He kisses the mezuzah every day. He tells the goya, go to the mikveh, do me a favor, Christine. Go to the mikveh. She doesn't know. She goes. You laughing? There are goyot who goes to the mikveh. They think that they need. He thinks, But once he's nagua badavar, he gets his bribe from her, you can't see the truth. Very difficult. So if Hashem called the Chacham, it's not Chacham in a newspaper. Maybe he is, maybe not. That means it's for sure Chacham. Big, huge, in a level of 3,000 years ago. Chacham like Moshe. Chacham like Korach. Korach was big Chacham before he made his mistake. Chacham like Aaron. Chacham like 70 zkenim. Chacham like Daniel Hanavi. Mechayem metim. They got a little bribe. They can't see the truth. How dangerous is bribe. One more thing before we finish. We say every day, Kol orchot Hashem chesed ve'emet. Lenotzrei brito ve'edotav. Kol orchot Hashem means all the ways of Hashem. It's chesed, kindness, ve'emet, and true. To who? Lenotzrei brito ve'edotav. To the ones who keep his covenants and laws. We have a question to ask here. The laws of Hashem, the ways of Hashem, is kindness and truth only to the Jews who keep his mitzvot? But the Jews who do not keep mitzvot or the laws of Hashem now became a lie? That's not true. What's going on here? In a pasuk it says, the ways of Hashem, it's kindness and truth to the ones who keep his mitzvot. To the ones who keep that his covenant, they keep his covenant. So the answer is, we have a rule. Im naval, titnaval. Hashem behave differently to people who goes against him. It's not the same. I'll tell you an example what I mean. One time, there's two chilonim, two secular Israeli guys. They live right next to the shul. Sometimes the shul comes short, they don't have minyan, so they call them to come. They don't know you're not allowed to call them, so they call them. So every morning they come, Itzik, Avi, come, we need you for minyan. So this guy, Avi, he pretends he's dumb. He doesn't know how to read. He tells them, listen, I didn't go to school. I was on the beach every day. I didn't really learn how to. I don't know how to read. Then why do you need me for minyan? Don't know how to read. So every day this guy Itzik goes to the minyan, put talit, tefillin, they give him. What can he do? He helped them out. One day they died, these two guys. They go to Olam Haba. Now they have a tribe. So they come, Avi, come Avraham, it's your turn now. So he said, why you didn't keep Shabbat? He said, wait, we have a problem with you. We've just seen your file, you don't know how to read. So wait on the side. They come, Itzik, you come. Yeah, what's the problem? Why you don't keep Shabbat? And no answer. Why you do this? No. You believe in me, right? You went to minyan every morning to complete minyan, no? Why you didn't keep? Okay. Send him ahead, give him a serious punishment for many years. We don't know what to do with you because you didn't know how to read. You anus. Anus rachmana patre. So they said to him, listen, we'll give you a card. We'll show you Gehenom we'll show you heaven. And whatever you like, you go. So they show him Gehenom, see, music, dancers, beautiful lake, jet ski, everyone is happy, people eat delicious food, steaks, amigo serve you with steak. What's next on what's for dessert? This is Gehenom? Ishtabach Shemo. I made a good choice. First they took him to heaven. You see all the tzaddikim there. Amar Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Akiva says, oh, I'm allergic for this. Take me out of here. He said, no, you don't want to come meet Aaron HaKohen, Moshe Rabbeinu, all the tzaddikim. No. It's enough what I've seen. Take me out. So they take him now to there. Wow, he's going back to Gehenom after he saw Gehenom, then he saw Gan Eden, now he's going back to Gehenom. So he comes back to Gehenom, with his visa, he can travel. So the guy, עכשיו he's in Gehenom. He said to him, you see, Gehenom is different. Wow, everyone is depressed. Depressed like this. So what happened to the jet ski? Where is the lake? He said, no, he comes back to the angel there. You see a different angel. He said, I have a free pass. I don't know how to read, I'm sorry. Push him back in. You're stuck here for life, my friend. What do you think? You want to fool Hashem? לא יודע לקרוא. In this world, Naval, it's called Naval. What's Naval? Like Lavan Arami. Lavan, his name is Naval, if you play with the letters. What does it mean? Tricky guy. A wise guy. Wise guy. Fool everyone. But in the end, you're going to have to deal with what you fool people. So, mamash, before we finish, Rav Simcha Buni Mipashischa, there was a big Hasidic Talmid Chacham Rav. This is what he says. A person has to see the Yetzer Hara like a murderer. The evil inclination. When a person thinks about his own evil inclination, he has to think, there is a murderer holding an axe in his hand, and any second is about to chop my head off. This is how a person has to think about the Satan, the Yetzer Hara. And then Rabbi Simcha said, and if a person cannot imagine the Satan holding an axe and about to chop his head off, that means the Satan already chopped his head off. You got the point or no? I mean, if you cannot think about it, that's it. Your conscience is dead already. Chas v'shalom. It's a mashal. We will finish. Maybe we'll give you some time for questions. Any questions before we finish? Yes.
What is Yetzer Hara exactly?
Yetzer Hara, it's an angel that Hashem created him. His job is to make bad in the world, to bring temptation to people, to always give resistance to people who wants to keep the mitzvot that they are obligated to keep. That's his job. He is an obstacle between a person and Hashem. It's nothing negative. Chazal said the greatest thing for a person, what is it? The Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination. Because without it, a person would not earn anything. If there would not be evil inclination, what Hashem would not give us a reward for anything. Why we get a reward? Person closes his business on Shabbat and comes to the shul. He gets a huge reward. Why? Because the Yetzer Hara is burning him. Look what you're losing. Look what you're sacrificing. Look how many customers you lose today. This is called the Yetzer Hara. Who gives him all these thoughts? Where are those thoughts coming from? Non-stop. You can do this, do that, don't do this, lie, say this, that, change, don't say, don't give. All these things, where does it come from? That's the Satan, the Yetzer Hara. The Gemara says, the Satan and the Yetzer Hara is one. He mekatreg, that's his job. What is it like? Like a prosecutor in a court of law. You come with your lawyer who likes you and trying to get you not guilty. And everything that the prosecutor does is to do and make sure to get your situation as worse as he can. He's not settling on 1 year in prison. If he has a way to go for 5, for sure he goes for 5. They have no mercy on anyone. If he can go to 15, he goes for 15. Even if you're 50 and now he got 20 years in prison, If you come out of prison, you only will have 2, 3, 5 years to live, and that's it. Doesn't care. He wants to go for 40 to make sure you die in jail. That's the way it is in America. That's the way it is in Israel. They get very upset. They take it personal. The lawyer, the prosecutor from the country, the attorney general, whatever their name is, if you wanted 15 years and you only got 5, they go very upset at home. They look at that as a personal failure. And right away they appeal. They don't let go. That's exactly the Satan. You should know one thing in this world. Everyone who is after people in this world, police, judges in a secular court, etc., even if they do it legally, even if they're right, even if they give them the correct punishment, it's not something that a person wants to do. It's not a privilege to be used in this world as the shot, the sling, what do you call it? The whip. The whip of Hashem. I don't want that Hashem will use me to whip the Rasha. Why should he use me? Why should I be the whip? Why I should be the cop who pull him over and give him ticket? Why should I be the judge who put handcuffs on him and put him and embarrass him in front of everyone? Why should I be the judge who sentenced him to 40 years in prison? Why? I have to run away from it, not to go to school 15 years for the show-off and the honor. Judge Cohen, please rise. Why are you so happy? You're every day sending people to destruction and you're happy? Again, even if you're 100% right, it's not something to be brag about. Better to save life than to destroy life. And again, the same thing in a bedding. Executor. Why do you think it's people enjoy from this job? They don't have a choice. They force them, the rabbis, to do it. But why should I volunteer to execute people? The police, they're very happy. You give them power. They like to feel important. He pulls you over. Yes, officer. Yes, you're right. He likes it. You say one word against him, you see what's going to happen. He break your bones. Or you try to come out of the car when he tells you sit inside. He'll kill you. Today they have cameras. They're more careful. But that's it. Why are you taking it personal? You know, one person in Israel, a religious guy, he was following some policeman. Policeman was driving very slow on the highway, but the policeman was now wearing his uniform. So he kept honking to him. So the policeman pulled him over. He waved the badge, pull over. And the guy filmed him with the iPhone. And you should see what the guy did to the policeman. You want to talk to me? Go put your hat on. And he said, no, go get dressed and come back. I'm not talking to you. Give me your driver's license registration. He said, you want to talk to me? Go first put your uniforms on, then you talk to me. He said, listen, I'm off the job now. I finished my shift. So it's your problem. You don't show me a badge. You want to talk to me? Go get dressed. So, you don't believe it? It's on YouTube. Go get dressed. So the guy went, he puts his shirt, uniform. He comes back. He said, no, where is your hat? So I don't have my hat with me. So I'm not talking to you. Give me your driver's license. Said, what's your name? What's your badge number? I'm going to report that you walk like this and you're pulling people without uniform. You should see how the policeman started to beg him. What am I only asking from? Don't give me your driver's license. It's okay, please. Don't give me. What? Why are you honking? Why are you? Because you're holding me back. You're driving too slow on the highway. What do you think? You're on the highway? All of this is what they say in Israel. The best defense is attack. And someone comes to attack you. If you begin to attack him, say, oh, you're right, I apologize. But in Shamayim, it doesn't work. What are you going to do, attack Hashem? What are you going to come with massive attack? It's your fault. Right, the way Hashem will give you one, or the Satan, then you realize where you are. Over here, the show-off sometimes work. But over there, forget about it. Any questions before we finish? Yes. Rega, wait. No, Moshe.
You
said in your previous lectures that
Oh,
your
what?
job here as a rabbi is to make more, religious people become more religious.
Yes.
So in your last lecture on marriage, you said that you were not brave enough to talk about hell or heaven.
Right.
Why not?
Because the people are not able to tolerate the truth in this generation. You have to give the truth little by little. If you come and say to the people what's going to be their end in Gehenom for the sins that they do, they get, not only they don't accept what you say, they'll hate you for the rest of your life. They continue to bash you and criticize you. They won't come anymore to hear. And now, to show that they're not afraid, they'll make more sins. So what did you do by that? So you have to know, it's like a doctor. He's afraid to say to the head of the mafia that he has cancer. You know what would happen to him? It's not his fault, the doctor. But he's afraid to tell him. Well, you're going to tell this head of mafia, I'll chop his head off in a minute. So he has to tell him little by little, Anthony, I suggest you go to my friend, he has a special cat skin. He'll tell you why you went there. What do you mean? No, don't worry, it's okay, you go, I have a friend, no charge, don't worry, we'll take care of the bill. Slowly, he has to present it to him, right? Tell him the truth right away. It will become your enemy for the rest of your life. Can't say the truth to people, unfortunately. Didn't I just tell you about the woman who gave me half an hour speech about tomorrow's lecture?
Did you take an invitation? But that's the truth. You gotta tell them.
Huh?
That's you gotta tell them.
You have to tell the truth. We say the truth, but not all the truth. If you know, there's mitzvah in the Torah. If you know that the person that you bring him the truth of God will resent it and will become worse, mitzvah not to tell him the truth. It's only mitzvah to tell a person the truth when the person will respect it and behave accordingly. But if you know he's going to start cursing and hating more and becoming anti more than what he is, better not to say anything. Why? The purpose of saying is to improve the people, not to make them worse. Even though it's 100% his fault, and he's gonna get paid for it. He's gonna get punished. But why should I make his situation worse? I have an obligation to tell him the truth if it's normal. If it's not normal, leave him alone. If it's not normal, it's maybe patur mi mitzvot. Shote patur mi mitzvot. Yes, over there in the end.
Well, based on what you just said, if a person doesn't tell him, then wasn't it like a month ago, like a month or 2 weeks ago, Parsha, like you have to repeat your fellow Jew, it's a mitzvah to repeat.
Right.
But if you're not going to say...
You must say, don't get me wrong, only if the person is willing to listen. The person become violent and beat you up. You're going to say?
Well, that's what the Rambam holds.
No. You can say up to 100 times, as long as he listens. If he become violent and start beating you up, or cursing you, or throwing things, or doing on purpose the opposite, that moment, your obligation to tell him the truth of the Torah expired. You've done your job. You just took his share to the world to come. You won a lot from this deal. Really, in reality, it's sad to say it. All of us, when we speak to a person and try to make him Shomer Shabbat, we all hope that he will become Shomer Shabbat. Why? Because we love Hashem. We try to love every Jew. We want Hashem to be happy that another one of his sons got saved. But really, business-wise, if he does not become religious, you earn more. Because you take his share to the world to come. Because he loses it. Who does it go? To the person who tried to save him and he refused. So you get his share, which makes your situation much better.
Yeah, but if you turn into Baal Tshuva, then all of his kids and grandkids, that's all going on your account.
Right. חזק וברוך. He deserves clapping. באמת, חזק וברוך. You won the argument. You're right.
And also you said that up until 100 times. Where does it say that a person has to do it?
עד 100 פעמים. גמרא זה up to 100 times להוכיח. עד כמה מצוות הוכחה? עד 100 פעמים. Yes.
I have a question. You talked about how, like, a yeshiva student in 1 month at one point to be in mitzvot. But where is our school as women? Where do we get the mitzvot?
First of all, I told you that women can learn Torah as much as they want. They don't get as much as the men. They still get a lot of mitzvot, but it's a lower reward for only one reason, because the women are not obligated to set time for Torah, so they have less Yetzer Hara. They have Yetzer Hara, because after all, they get paid for this mitzvah. But we think that someone that volunteered to do mitzvah deserves more than someone that it's his job. If I have a worker, I'm paying him every hour, he must do what I tell him. But if my friend comes to volunteer and help me, he deserves more than the worker, because the worker has to do it. My friend didn't have to do it, so I appreciate my friend a lot more. But when it comes to Torah, it's not like that. The one who is more obligated has much bigger resistance. So if you take a man and a woman hear Torah, she can go hours. Like this. Shifa. Like this, in a dream. 10 hours. What happened? No resistance. Man, 3 minutes, you see? What, Rabbi? 1 minute, please. Get up. 2 minutes. Okay, listen. Tell the lawyer, 15 minutes. He comes back, sit another minute. Rabbi, the AC doesn't work here today. I'm looking for the AC another 15 minutes. After an hour, of course, he made coffee, he went to the bathroom. You know, now he's making a tila, 15 minutes kavanot. 3 minutes he learned. Comes to the yeshiva, 3 minutes. What did you learn today? I learned the rabbi says something about Asher Yoshvei Betecha. Okay, but what did he say? Don't ask me too much. Rabbi, my head hurts. Do you mind I put my head down? Why the ladies will never happen. A lady comes to Shiur Torah. Did you ever see a lady goes like this? Right. Not only she doesn't have resistance, she wants more. No, continue more. Because they have less resistance, but they get a reward. But since their obligation is lower, so the reward is lower. According to how difficult it is, that's how the reward. Yes.
I have a question, but I also want to say, did you know the Chafetz Chaim's house is in Monsey?
No, the Chafetz Chaim house is not in Monsey. It's children and grandchildren.
No, they brought his house.
The original house.
My cousin is the best friend of Rabbi Zach.
Zach's is his grandson.
House.
I didn't know that. When was it?
I think he told me
The same house that they show in New York Times with all...
It's next door to you.
Really?
They didn't put it up yet, but they brought it.
No, Baruch Hashem. It's worth it to know.
But I wanted to ask
Yeah.
two questions. Did you read Em Habonim Samicha? And, you know, what can you tell us about that today? And
So you want now a whole lecture now? Maybe we will do it in another time. Questions, specific questions.
Wait.
Yeah.
Also, relating to the autistic, since they say to come to Israel, and since I know you took their advice on Kiruv,
Yes.
and they're saying come to Israel, and the Shomer and Munim Rebbe also, some Rebbes are saying...
And Rav Chaim Kanievsky now saying it. Many rabbis say it.
And Em Hamonim, I mean, did you read Em...
One thing I want you to know. The autistic kids are not poskei halacha. Even when I asked them a few questions about certain things in halacha, they answered me, you have to ask a rabbi. So I told him, but you know everything. Answer me. Say, I'm not a posek halacha. Not my job to answer what's right, wrong. So the same thing, if an autistic kid say to you, sell your business, or come to Israel, or change your children's school, or anything like that, it can be a trigger to light your eye, and then you have to go to a rabbi and tell him what's going on, and he will tell you what to do. The psak halacha, when it goes to, if to go to Israel or not, did not change. The rule is, a person should live only in a place that he feels that in this place he comes as closer as possible to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Whether it's in Israel, whether it's in America, whether it's Uzbekistan. If he thinks that right here I feel closeness to Hashem because of the rabbi, because of the community, because the children have good education, because my wife is very happy here, and if she's going to be there, it's going to be a disaster for the whole family. There are reasons. That's why I have to go to your rabbi, put everything on the table, all the good, all the bad, and you have to get a psak halacha. And the rabbi, the way he should answer it is he has to ask you, do you make parnasa here, yes or no? Are the children have good education, they do good in school, yes or no? That you have shalom bayit over here, yes or no? You have good community, yes or no? You have good shul, yes or no? You have a good rabbi here, yes or no? There's a lot of things to know. If everything is no, no. You have a rabbi, no. You have a community, no. You have a job, no. You have school, no. Some yes, some no. Of course go to Israel. Eretz HaKodesh. It's mitzvah to live in Eretz Israel. Better than any exile. But if a person knows that in Eretz Israel he will not have anything, no parnasa, no shlom bayit, no community, no schools for the kids, depression in a house, I want to tell you something. I got a call on Friday from an Israeli Yemenite woman, half crying on the phone, 2 or 3 hours before Shabbat. She told me a story about her sister who married an Argentinian guy in Argentina, and they had 2 daughters. And they moved to Israel. You know, the kids, they don't ask them. They're teenagers, they move with their parents. They move over there, and the 2 girls, the Argentinian girls, were so soft with South American mentality, very polite, very classy. You know, it was very difficult for them to merge into the Israeli mentality and the hectic lifestyle in Israel. That one of them became so depressed, and she just died, but not in a natural death, if you know what I mean, a few days ago. And the rabbis made a psak halacha that they're allowed to bury her in a regular section in a cemetery, because she wasn't responsible to her action. And she asked me to do this shiur for Leilu Nishmata, and I said, okay, I already announced on Friday that this shiur and tomorrow's shiur and every other shiur will be for her neshama, the poor war girl. She became 30 years old and ended up her life like this. But the shocking part of the story was that the day before she passed away, she called someone and she asked her, can you teach me religion? I'm tired of this life. I want to become more religious. One day before. And the next day she is gone. So to move to a different country, it's a very, very serious decision. Some people say, whatever happened, happened. Let's get the tickets, let's move, let's buy a place. No, 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 no. You have to prove. Eretz Israel compared to America, Eretz Israel, it's a much holier place, yes. Breathing in Eretz Israel or breathing in New York, the holiness of Eretz Israel, every second count. The Torah of Eretz Israel is greater than here. Many things over there is greater than here, as the Torah promised. Eretz asher enei Hashem Elokecha ba mireshit hashanavad acharita. Hashem wrote in the Torah, my eyes is in the Holy Land from the beginning of the year to the end, non-stop, which is an expression to tell you that I love this piece of land more than any other place. Everybody knows it, and the Goyim also want it. What do you think everyone runs after Israel? The Arabs have 99.8% of the Middle East. They're fighting for the little piece of a land. Do you think if it was a little piece in the desert of Saudi Arabia, they care? They want this place because everybody knows it's the most important place in the world. With all due respect to what I just said, there are other things that have to be put on the scale. So if the life of a person here is horrible, no job, no peace in the family, or no shidduch, or no nothing, or no Torah, no kila, no, the kids are not happy, of course he has to move there. It's nothing to compare. Bad and bad, at least over there it's the Eretz HaKodesh. But if his life is ideal here, everything, he has chevruta, he has community, he's learning Torah every day, his kids are in great yeshivot, they get great education, they're very polite, midot, shlom bayit, parnasa, he can even give tzedakah a lot, or he sends tzedakah to yeshivot, whatever. How can he risk? How can he take a chance to risk such a thing, to go to a place that chas v'shalom he may end up with nothing? How? The Gemara says, Bari v'shema, bari adif. Bari means certain. Shema means maybe. Certain against maybe, certain always win. You don't leave certain that you have in your hand to get something that is 50-50 chance. You don't do it. You don't leave 100% for a 90% chance. 90%? No, no, no. You have 100, You don't have permission to risk to go to 90 or 50 or 0. You don't have. That's why everyone wants to do it, must come to his rabbi, put everything on the table. The rabbis cannot just answer 1, 2, 3. They have to review it. It's a question of lifetime. It's a question that can affect the eternity of this family. It's not a joke. If you give them the wrong answer, you tell them stay here, you can destroy them for eternity. If you tell them to go there, you can also destroy them. You have to see it and investigate and ask again, and it has to take days to accept such a decision. What do you think? It's a joke? It's changing the life of everyone, their children, grandchildren. Oh, chas v'shalom, you tell them to go there. None of their kids went to school. They're all on the street. No school accept them because of their last name. They all became chas v'shalom criminals. The grandsons of this family will murder people. You want this in your file as the rabbi that told them to go? Just because you read in the Gemara that Eretz Israel is a holy place? They have to be responsible. It's not my, whatever I told you, none of this is my opinion. This is the opinion of Gdolei Ador that they always ask. Now, Baruch Hashem, when they feel that the Geulah is very close. So we find some movement of the opinions are more to go back to Eretz Israel. So we'll see. When we see, especially now the situation in America, it's not exactly great. And there's a lot of risk here. And we have to sit, we call it with the yad ala dofek. Over here, every day, things can change. There's big anti-Semitism here. They just said that even though they say in a survey that only 9% of Americans admit that they're anti-Semite, but you know, in Germany, in the beginning, the Nazis, the Germans did not plan to go and kill the Jews. One person changed all their minds within weeks. From his crazy speeches and all kinds of things. Then it was like, you know, like if one guy comes in yeshiva and says, let's go to this, and another one, all of a sudden it's become a movement. Everyone wants to do it. It's something that's called happening. Everyone joining the car, you know why? Because this is the way of people, not everyone thinking. But everyone does it, Rabbi. I got this answer millions of times. Everyone does it. So everyone will take drugs, you also take. Everyone will become one day a murderer, you also will become. Everyone is Mechalel Shabbat, you also lose your share to the world to come. What kind of answer is that everyone go? Everyone does. That's stupid. What is everyone? Everyone is indication. You have 1.5 billion Christians, they all live in a lie. So what, we're going to become Christian because we only 13 million and they are 1.5 billion? There's tons of sands on the floor. Until you find one diamond, you have billions of sands. One diamond. So let's agree to take sands because sands there's plenty. And diamonds there's very little. What does it make a difference? One diamond equal like million tons of sand. What's the comparison here, Bichlal? Quantity is not always an indication for something. Sometimes the opposite. Quantity shows that that's not the right thing to do. Why? Because the majority of the people in the world, excuse my language, are not brilliant. So when most people run and do it, one guy that was an expert from Queens in the stock market, one time I went to the bank and I saw an Israeli guy, 24, 25 years old. He told me, buy this stock. I bought it, I'm making fortune on it. Give me a satellite radio that came out in those days. It's going up like crazy. So I told that expert, used to come to my lectures in those days. I know he's a big trader in the market. So I told them, buy that. Someone bought it for 2, it became 4 in 2 days. Double his money. The next day, the guy comes to me, shake my hand, thank you very much. Thanks to your advice, thanks to your friend's advice, I made $200,000 today. So I said, oh, you bought it? He said, no, I shorted it. So I said, what do you mean you shorted? You did the opposite of what the guy said? Said, of course. So I said, why? He said, when all the fools who do not know anything about the stock market scream, buy, 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 that's the time to show. Why? Because 1 minute everyone begins to sell. As soon as it goes down, in 1 second it goes down right away. And that's exactly what happened. He knows, I do not know what he knew. He checked the company, obviously. But this is an indicator when all the people, most people don't know what they do in the stock market. Maybe from 100 investors, one knows what he's doing. The rest is all gamblers. They're all gamblers. They hear a little bit on the news, a little bit on television. Someone told him, his uncle, his grandpa. He puts everything, oh, I think it's a good buy. It's gambling. Some people are expert. They know every detail, financial statement. They check the chart from the last 40 years. It's much really good investors. And they check the market and they read surveys. They work very hard. Not that, of course, if Hashem doesn't want you to make, you can be the biggest expert in the world and you only lose. And the fools will make non-stop. But overall, you're increasing your chances to make, naturally. More questions, no? Yeah.
The Torah says that if a wall falls on a goy, a Jew can't be Mechala Shabbat to save the goy.
Right.
So I understand the answer is because really we shouldn't, Shabbat is so great that we shouldn't even go to save a Jew if the wall's on top of him. But because he's going to come to save, keep other Shabbat, we save it.
Right.
If you're explaining that to a secular Jew, if he sees that, and we say we're Lagoyim, we're supposed to bring out God's name to the world, how do we...
Okay, first of all, you have to know one thing. The law today is if a wall falls on any human being, whether it's a Jew, whether it's a non-Jew, you have to violate Shabbat, take the bricks off, and save his life. However, the original law, we just said, I guess Hashem didn't agree with me. But this is the law today. But the original law was, you were, like you said, we only allowed to violate Shabbat to save the life of a Jew, but not every Jew. Only a Jew that keeps Shabbat. Because a Jew that does not keep Shabbat, there's no difference between him and the non-Jew.
How do you know if he keeps or not?
Oh, wait. So now, why today we save everyone? First of all, you don't know who's a Jew and who's not, number one. Number two, even if you know he's a Jew, you don't know if he keeps or not. He can have ponytail and earring and it's Shomer Shabbat. He can have beard and peos and it's Mechalel Shabbat. Why is dressing like this? Because he doesn't want to upset his parents. It's Mechalel Shabbat. So you're going to save the Mechalel Shabbat and let the Shomer Shabbat die because he has long ponytail and you think he's not Shomer Shabbat? We can't assume. We have to give them, we don't know. It's not, excuse me, Avi, are you Shomer Shabbat? What do you care now? I'm dying. No, tell me. No, what is this questionnaire now? Fill up the application. Fill up the application. You save him right away. And even if he tells you, my name is Tony Montana, you still save him. And even if he tell you, my name is Ahmed, you still save him. Why? You know how many Ahmeds are Jews in Israel? Ahmed ben Sarah. Do you know how many Israeli Jews married Arabs and their children are all Jews? So first of all, you don't know. Second, even if you know for sure he's a goy, you still have to save him. Why? Mishum darekei shalom. Because if you don't save him, they're going to think that we hate them personally. They don't understand we obey the rules of God. They will hold it against us personally and take revenge against us and kill Jews. Or will not save Jews. So because of that, you know, Hashem is not interested the world will become a war zone, right? So we have to save everyone. But remember this, even Mechalel Shabbat, technically we're not allowed. We only allowed to save someone that is Shomer Shabbat because we know he's going to keep many Shabbatot. So we violate one Shabbat in order for him to keep many Shabbatot. But originally, if we knew that someone is not Shomer Shabbat, we were not supposed to save him. But like I told you, today you save everyone. Yes?
Being offered the shidduch.
We have to do Arvit now, yeah. You pray Arvit already?
No.
Okay, we'll do, no?
Being offered the shidduch, but at the same time you want to go learn in Israel. Where is your obligation?
It's a good question and a hard one. If they offered you a good shidduch and you want to go to Israel and learn, you may miss the shidduch. So it's first of all, first question is if the guy is ready for the shidduch. Sometimes it's the importance of to go to yeshiva is because the person is still 80% secular. Yeah, he keeps Shabbat, he eat kosher, he makes some brachot, put tzitzit, but he doesn't know anything. What is the point of getting married when you do not know what to do, how to do, nothing? You're not ready for marriage. you're not mature enough, there's no Torah, there's not going to be holiness in the house. Just to rush into the marriage and get divorced, it's not a solution. That's why they say minimum 6 months, come to yeshiva, even if you can get engaged and postpone the marriage, at least 6 months you learn serious, that's okay. It doesn't have to be in Israel. It can be here, there's yeshivot here, over here, for Baalei Tshuva. But if the guy is ready, and he has a shidduch, and they tell him, no, leave the shidduch, come to yeshiva instead, that's also could be not, that's not what Hashem wants. If he's ready and she's ready, they have to get married. He can get married and come to yeshiva for a few hours a day. No problem. But if he's not ready, or the girl is not ready, to let them get married, it's not fair. It's lo ta'amud al dam re'echa. Rabbis that have good experience with couples, it takes him 10 minutes to know if this marriage is going to the right direction or not, before they even got engaged. So he sees right away, because he sees that she's not ready. She's a little girl, he's a little kid. They're not ready for it. They're not ready, I'm talking spiritually. Mentally, you can be very mature. You already own a business. I don't care. She also, you know, misses a big shot, but we don't care. Spiritually, they're not ready. Marriage, it's not only physical, intimate relationship. It has a lot of spirituality in it. No Hashem in a house, no spirituality, the physical part of the marriage cannot survive. I made a few good lectures about it in the last 2 weeks. Let's look at them. The role of a husband, marriage before and after. There's few good ones now. They came out very good, Baruch Hashem. It's very, very recommended to hear them. Last questions for tonight, but it better be good. Yeah.
In short, how do you work on your spirituality?
To work on the spirituality, there are a few ways. The most important and fastest way is to learn Torah daily, seriously. If a person doesn't learn Torah, at least he listens to CDs. The CDs, I get hundreds of emails a week, hundreds, how inspiring the CDs are and how they're changing their life. There's a guy here from Brooklyn who comes to my lectures. And he told me, I have a rich friend, a guy that I don't know if he's his friend, but someone rich that he knows. I want him to help you to sponsor more CDs. You always said in your lecture how the CDs changing lives are, and you're getting emails every day. Can you forward me those emails that I can show it to the guy? I said, no problem. 10 minutes later, I forward him about 18 emails. He looks at the dates of them. You see all the emails from today, from one day. He comes back to me and says, well, all these emails from now. What? He thought I'm going to give him one for a week ago, one from a month ago. All of them within 24 hours. And then since then, I send him another 100 in 1 week. People write. He wrote, this is mind-blowing. If you don't believe, come, I'll show you all the back and forth emails right now. This is mind-blowing. Every Jew must invest in these CDs if that's the results of them. It's not, okay, it helps a little bit. It's Tzava Shah, it's the obligation of the moment. But almost not one rich guy helps the CDs. Only poor people and ordinary people give little donations. Not one millionaire, and I know a lot of billionaires. I know them personally. Been in their houses, I spoke in the houses, I did Shabbatonim in the houses. I met them in occasions. Not one wealthy guy pick up his wallet out and give a nice big check for the CDs. Only young, ordinary people in their 20s who hardly make a living sends little checks. Baruch Hashem, there's so many listeners, so it adds up that we can give thousands of CDs every month. But it's a joke. It's a sad joke. What I give in a month, I should give in an hour. There's no shortage of money in a Jewish world. In a religious Jewish world. Secular, what do I expect from them? They're going to give money to make Jews religious? They're not interested in religion. I'm going to come to secular Mechalel Shabbat, give me money to support CDs? You won't understand the concept, Bichlal. You tell him, give money for poor people, he give. To build a synagogue, he may give. For sick people, he may give. To teach people Torah or to make Baalei Tshuva, he will find a nice excuse. But people who are Baalei Tshuva and they loaded with money, how can they have a heart of a rock? I don't get it, I never get it. It's years. It's in my mind, every minute in my mind, non-stop. I ask, how can it be? Here, Michael is coming with me, he's going to me with places. We've been in Maryland, we've been in Canada, we've been all over. He said to me today, by you there's no question how the Satan is 24/7 around you non-stop to stop everything. See the Satan fighting non-stop. You have no idea. To come to the shiur, to get there. Everything is a struggle. Why? Because this is the highest thing. Whether you want to earn it without sweating. That's why I encourage you again for the probably 1,000 times in the last 20 years. Only kiruv, 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 kiruv. Just like you invest in a stock that will give you thousands of percent and not hundreds of percent. Hundreds is also very good, but thousands is much better. Who would live 1,000% for 100%? Or who would live 100% for 2%? I also buy that stock. Why? Why you invest in 2% when you can invest in 1,000%? What reason? Only one. The Satan blind you. He doesn't want you to get such huge reward. Think about it. One person one time gave $1 million to a CD factory. 7 million CDs were given out. 100,000 Jews became religious from that factory. That's more or less the statistic. That Jew that gave the $1 million, he gave the $1 million from a deal that he made $24 million. So he gave 1 million instead of giving 2.4 million minimum maser. He gave 1 million, and the $1 million made 100,000 Jews religious, and it all goes to his account every second. 200,000 mitzvot in the last minute, 400,000 mitzvot in the next minute, 500,000 mitzvot in the next minute, for billions of years. Him, his children, grandchildren, non-stop. All these 100,000 will become 1 million. And in another generation, they become 5 million and 10 million. And it all goes to this check that he wrote. And now what do you think happened to the other 24 million? I saw his brother in a wedding in Huntington. He said that by now, as we speak, he almost lost all the money. But the 1 million he escaped. And he said, and he cannot all the more. That's it. He's done, this guy. He's set for eternity. My cousin, Rabbi Farajon, told me, I told him, if a person makes Baalei Tshuva, he saves a lot of people. He makes them Shomer Shabbat, learn Torah. But he also makes sins. So he said, you don't know the Zohar? The Zohar say, when he comes to Shamayim, the Satan is going crazy because the Satan hates him the most in the world. But he has no permission to make a beep against him. It's like a special shield. לא יכולים לגעת בו. Cannot touch him. אין חטא על ידו. Cannot talk to you. That's a different thing. Come here. Like the Prime Minister come, he doesn't go through security. Mr. President, come from here. I'll finish with a story that I just remember. When I went to London, after all the liberal Jews and all the people who hate Torah were trying to ruin the trip, Baruch Hashem, all the obstacles died. And everything was ready to go. Instead of 4 lectures, we ended up making 10. Finally, when I drive to the airport, the flight was at 6 something, and traffic is horrible as usual. And I'm saying to myself, I have no time to put the car in a long-term parking. I have to pay double or triple, whatever the price, and park right by the terminal, right away to cross the street. And I have suitcases full of CDs. When I come into the terminal, on the way to the terminal, I send a text to London. The guy who invited me is in charge of the flight. I said, did you check if my flight is on time? Because I was so busy that day with so much pressure. I couldn't even have 5 minutes to call to wait or not. I asked him on the way to there, did you check if the flight on time? Half an hour later, when I'm already on the way, he said, actually, your flight got canceled, and they move you to a different flight. 40 minutes earlier. I'm already late to this flight. 40 minutes, what? So right away, I gave up the long-term parking, until you come, the train, half an hour. I said, okay, I got to park right away. But I still don't know if I'll make it. I come into the terminal. I see maybe 40 people waiting online. Only 1, 2, or 3 over there. So 40 people with suitcases. Minimum 1 hour to wait. I'm not going to make it. No chance. Security, this, that's it. After all the struggle, after so much nightmare, now to miss the flight, and it's a weekend, that's it. You don't take the flight, tomorrow it's Shabbat. I'm saying to myself, wow, how can it happen, such a thing? All of a sudden, Rabbi, where are you heading to? I turn around. Policeman, goy, mustache, earring, blue uniform. Italian policeman, American Italian. How he knows me? I said, Rabbi, where are you going? From the lecture. You know, you go in, listen to the lecture. Policeman in terminal over there. He said, where are you heading? I said, I'm supposed to go to London, but look what's going on here, and my flight is in an hour. There's no chance to make it. Relax, Rabbi. Follow me. Just like that, I wrote his name. In the lecture in London, go, Rabbi Mizrachi in London. The last one I gave in London, I actually had his name. I wrote it down. So what happened now? So he takes me right away, all the lines, right to the 1, 2, 3, give me boarding pass. I'm waiting for you by the security. I come to the security, he got me in like a prime minister. No check, no nothing. Go inside, li ayin hara. 10 minutes later, I was sitting in the terminal waiting an hour for the flight. And he told me, the guy, you're really lucky. In 2 days, they're moving me out of here to Atlanta. My last 2 days here in JFK. What a miracle. Such a miracle. Imagine now the 10 trips that now we get so many CDs and I get so many emails from London and already people became Baalei Tshuva and who knows in the 20 years how much it can be. This guy has a schut. I told him I'm going to start my lecture with a story about you. I wrote his name down, everything. If I wasn't embarrassed in the airport to take picture and take his picture as a policeman, next thing they can't say you're a spy, come here. I didn't want to take risk. I was dying to take my camera and take a picture with him together to post the picture on a Facebook page to show the miracle of Hashem. Yeah, God, Hashem has many messengers. But the messenger, an Italian, American policeman, listen to the lectures online. And just when I'm standing with the suitcase, says, behind me, Avo Ezri came out of the elevator. And the terminal is so busy. Right away behind me. Rabbi, where are you heading to? I can't forget this miracle. There's not one day I don't think about it. How such a thing happened? And incredible how he came. It was his shift, and he came right where I was standing in front of so many people. Hashem runs the world. And if you don't see it, what else can we say? Thank you very much. Thank you, Yaniv, Chazak. Thank you, Rabbi Gabriel.